So we are starting this episode off a little bit differently just because of what happened yesterday. It is September 11th, 2025, and yesterday Charlie Kirk was assassinated in public, right?
Yeah. Unreal. Like, I don't know what you can really say about it. Like, you and I haven't, now, to be clear to anybody listening, you and I have not had a conversation about this at all.
No, this is us. First time we're talking about this right now.
And, it's crazy to think that in today's world, literally having an open dialogue with somebody and just simply disagreeing with them, you can get you killed.
Yeah.
By somebody who just doesn't agree with you.
Yeah.
Charlie, I mean, I hate politics and this stuff. Like we try to stay away from it all. He was very conservative. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, he was very, against certain things. He was very biblical. He was very religious. He believed what he believed, and that's fine. And one thing that I always liked about him was he would welcome people up that were disagreed him, and he would tell the crowd, "Don't boo him. Don't heckle them. Hey, give them the respect that they don't give us. Like, just let them talk. We'll have a debate, and if we disagree, we disagree." But to see that happen in just the people, this guy who's on the run right now, who I think they're probably today's day and age, you don't get away.
No, they're going to catch him.
They're going to catch him. It's
unless this guy offs himself.
Which I guess that's the easy way out. Quite honestly, as much as it's not popular, you almost want to see a public hanging, because this guy was a part of a movement, right? You're talking 20 million followers, and most of them are young generation voter kids that are starting to see things differently, right? Starting to put the phones away, put social media away, and start thinking for themselves. And did you see the video?
So it's funny, as you called, good friend of mine just called me, and I said once you walked in the door, I said, "Hey, I gotta go." But right as he asked me, "Did you see the video?" I said, "Dude, I have been actively trying not to, because I can see a lot of things that won't affect me." This is weird. What's weird about this is I'm not a Charlie Kirk guy. I know him. I'm aware of him. I have never had a problem so much with him. It's just more like it's just not my style.
Yeah.
Right. It's not my thing. The more that I would see of him, the more I'd be like, yeah, I don't think he's not a tool. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's not one of those guys that goes up there to have a debate to kill you, to make fun of you, to make you a public spectacle. Like you said, he is more than happy. He was more than happy to have a discussion in public and allow anybody a platform to talk to him. Yep. It wasn't pre-selected. It was anybody. It just wasn't my thing, right?
But he was so intelligent.
He was, but the reason why I say that is like the idea of watching this guy be publicly assassinated because there's a million videos of it happening was like, I can't watch that. I don't want to watch that. Especially because there's things that I've seen that you can't divorce your brain from that. It's in there.
You ain't gonna unsee this.
I was listening to, one of my news podcasts this morning, and the lady on it said, if you haven't seen the video, don't do it because you will never forget the image. And I'm like, yeah, okay, then I don't want to.
It's I've seen stuff like this stuff it is what it is, right? Yeah. But the only reason I really wanted to see was because there was speculation that he was shot, and we knew that, but it was life threatening. We don't know. He just been rushed to the hospital, life threatening. I'm pretty well experienced in a lot of this kind of stuff, and the second I was with a group of like-minded people. Mm-hmm. I was at a golf tournament, right? And as soon as we saw it, every one of us knew there's no way. They just haven't said it yet, but it is not physically possible for him to survive because the bullet itself hits the carotid artery. Yeah. And
there's no coming back from that.
Dude, you're talking at most, you're talking 10 seconds of your heart beating. You're not conscious. Like, you're done after about a second. I don't think he felt anything, to be fair. Like, I think there's reports now that he did wear a bulletproof vest underneath his shirt usually. Yeah. It looks like the bullet may have ricocheted off of that, and that's why it went up into there. Because, anybody who's a gun guy knows that you're not. If you're a sniper target guy, you're aiming for center mass. You're never aiming for the neck because so much movement happens.
And it's thin.
And it's thin, but it's a definite kill shot. But it's just so hard to this little spot versus this giant area,
right?
So you got to figure. And they're talking it came from over 200 yards away.
Yeah,
which. Bullet,
if you hit the neck, that's a lucky shot. That's not.
Yeah, and he's moving. If you watch, you won't see the video, but he actually picks up the mic. He answers a question about gun violence, And literally,
I'd heard it was about LGBTQ.
It was about mass shootings, but what he brings up is, and when they talk about how the guy, it almost seemed like from what I understand from it, it almost seemed like the guy was bringing up the guns. Or the guns kill people, and the guy was like, and Charlie Kirk says, yeah, but how many of those are gun-related violences or gang-related?
Yeah.
So those don't really count when you look about mass shootings and stuff. You're not those gang on gang is not something that they really like. You're talking like what average person goes in and just kills people, right?
Right.
So anyway, and literally he takes the mic, he says that, and he puts the mic down, and then it just happens, and it's you just like I said, like there's no way. If you like anybody who knows anything about the human anatomy, when you see it happen, you're like, he may survive. No, he's just not.
Yeah,
and he didn't. So.
No, the thing that is to me that was probably like the most poignant and impactful part of this is on the same day we had another school shooting in Denver. We had a school shooting in Minnesota a week before, where a guy barricaded the doors and started shooting inside of a Catholic mass. Because there's a Catholic school, private school, and started shooting kids right from the windows.
14 kids hurt, 3 dead, I think.
Yeah. And not only that, but if you remember, it was 2 or 3 months ago, a guy assassinated the Speaker of the Minnesota House, her and her husband, and went and tried to kill another. Yeah. Like the political division in this country, if it hasn't hit critical mass. We are there.
We're there.
Can you imagine? The only way we get... I mean, not the only way. There's obviously things, but the thing that would make it further is literal civil war.
Well, and I think like you're starting to see, like there's already video of like last night, a guy drove through a vigil for Charlie Kirk and screamed some F you Charlie star stuff. And the crowd is chanting USA and literally kicking the crap out of this dude, pull him out of his car and kick the crap out of him. And I'm not saying that's right, but I feel like that's where we're at now. Like, unfortunately, the silent majority that they just keep their mouth shut. They're not the noisy, squeaky wheel. Mm-hmm. I think we've reached a breaking point.
Yeah.
And it's going to get worse before it gets better. Dude,
that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the worse before it gets better because I just think of this as we have just become so, like, I don't know if, I think the reason why this one was so like impactful to me is because for so long we've just become so dumb or numb, I should say, to the noise of these things, right? This person was shot. Yeah. Charlie Kirk wasn't even an elected official. He was literally a podcaster and an online influencer. And because this guy had very, very traditional views on abortion.
Traditional.
It was very traditional.
That's a good word. Conservative's not really. I think traditional fits his viewpoint.
Yes, he
probably
was very traditional on abortion, on family, on gender roles, on gender identity, and especially on religion. The guy was very religious, and because those things opposed somebody else, they decided the only way to end it was to kill him.
Well, and I mean, I think we've talked about conspiracy theories before, and I'm a big. I don't buy them all, but I'll listen to every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Because I think in today's world you have to you have to at least entertain the thought that it could happen.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that's interesting to me is how old is he?
31.
What can he do in 4 years?
Run for president.
And that's where like in 4 years' time, his movement was just going to grow.
Yeah.
And you're going to see probably the most amount of youthful age kids voting, and they're going to that we're aligning with him. Let's just say whichever that is. And to think like that's where we've gotten to the point now where they being maybe...
Wait, wasn't it 45 before you can run for president?
No, it's 35.
Is it 35?
100%.
I thought it was 45.
100% is 35.
Okay.
So, because I've thought about it before. So, but no, so it's, you just think back and you wonder like, dude, like, is that something? Now, I don't know how somebody, like this person of interest that they're looking for, if he has no military training, no background with guns or something like that, he's not our guy. Yeah, he's a fall guy.
Yeah,
there's just not. Like, there's
no
too many variables at a two. Let's just say conservatively, they're saying 200 yards, 200-yard shot on a moving target with a crowd of 3,000 people in front of him that could literally anybody could stand up or jump or move at any time. there's just no way.
Yeah.
Like, you can't expect anybody to believe that this random Call of Duty shooter became this guy, right?
Yeah. This guy is a hunter at the least.
At the very least,
this guy
he's got a wall full of heads in his house.
Yes.
Of
this
animals.
Animals. Yeah. Hey, maybe else. I mean, but I mean, this guy, obviously, whoever it is, this person grew up with guns, understood how to use a very powerful bolt-action rifle from a distance.
Have you heard the thoughts about what was written on the thing?
Yeah, I've heard
Is that
about
true?
it.
I don't know if I haven't.
That's why I'm not talking about it.
Yeah,
I didn't bring it up because I hadn't heard anybody.
I don't want to bring it up, but it's one of those things where. But that wouldn't surprise me because it's lately, and we can talk about, like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but the facts are the facts. Lately, these mass shootings have been transgender kids at these school shootings and stuff like that. They're hiding it all, but it is one of the first reports to come out that, hey, this person was the Catholic school person was a transgender, one or the other. I don't really care to get into the details, but we have to start looking at this mental illness possibility with what this is, because something's going on. We never had this happen before. I mean, you had the last political assassination attempt, which we don't even talk about anymore,
was
Donald Trump. But before that, really, Ronald Reagan?
Well, that was the first one that got shot. But if you remember, I think it was 2018 or 2017. You remember those? It was a bunch of senators playing softball, and somebody came to that with a gun and started shooting. Didn't get anybody.
The DC, right? In DC, it was a softball thing.
Yeah.
But
and so, like, nobody got shot, but the guy was there with a gun shooting.
But how many years did we go without? I mean, you figure JFK, then nothing.
And then I do, let's say, Reagan is the one that first popped into my mind. Early 80s, I think it was 83, right before the end of his first term, something like that.
And he was an actor. Like, he was not a hated political adversary from the 70s. He was an actor.
Yeah, a guy who was the governor of California decided to run for president after the wildly unpopular Jimmy Carter, right? Who ran. No, I'm good. I got to. Sorry. For those of you listening, I was offered a water. I'm good.
Sorry.
No, wildly unpopular Jimmy Carter, whose economic policies completely tanked the economy. Ronald Reagan came in as a conservative. I mean, the conservative that most Republicans now would love to say they're doing what Ronald Reagan did. They're not, by the way.
No.
They talk about it a lot, but they're not. And the idea that somebody, and by the way, you know the person that shot him, this guy was literally nuts. He thought that by shooting Ronald Reagan, he would be able to get Jodie Foster, the actress, her attention, and she'd be so impressed with him that she'd fall in love with him.
The Deep Impact Jodie Foster?
Yeah. And it was because she was in Taxi Driver. You ever watch Taxi Driver with Robert De Niro?
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember I had this book in junior high. It's called They Shot the President, or in elementary school, 6th grade. It was all about assassination attempts, successful and unsuccessful, against every president in the United States. And when I got it in 6th grade, that was the last one, Ronald Reagan. Nobody after, all the way up until Donald Trump in 2024. Who wasn't in president, by the way. He was going to be. But
and that's the thing. Charlie Kirk is not even a president. Like, he really isn't anybody that's making legislative changes. He's just a voice. He's a guy that's out giving an appointment, giving an opinion about his views and stuff like that, right? Like, it just blows my mind that this now and then you get into the family aspect of it all. He's got 2 kids that'll never know who he is. They're 2 girls.
Dude, you want to talk that's probably the thing that, like, I really started to think about. I'm like, he is a father to 2 young daughters who no longer now will have their dad.
They won't even remember him. They're too young. The oldest may remember a figure. They will not remember their father. They will have no recollection. They will now have to read about him forever.
And
which is
obviously the wife who had a husband that morning doesn't anymore.
Yeah,
he's gone.
It's. And I didn't realize they lived in Scottsdale.
Yeah, they're based out of
here. I knew that, but I didn't realize that. Does that make sense? Like, it makes sense now, but it's just, I don't know, man. You look at these. That's the video that got me more than anything. It showed him and his wife, and then the 2 kids on the beach. And
dude,
I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off. I'm like, I don't want to see this, because this is where these people who do these things because they disagree with somebody so much so. But that's why I'm like, it's the conspiracy theory part of me is like, who paid him?
Well,
you don't just do this. Like, you just tell me you're sitting in your mom's basement and you're going to say, I'm going to kill Charlie Kirk today. And this is how I'm going to do it when he comes here to South Utah Valley. I'm going to perch up on this roof and I'm going to set this up. Like, really?
The thing that is really hard to, like, it's really hard for me to, like, wrap my brain around this whole thing, because, again, we come back to the fact that Charlie Kirk was not an elected official. He was a political voice. He was an influencer. This guy was an online podcaster with a really big online following.
Yeah.
And what he did was go to college campuses and literally have open debate. You could anybody's welcome to come debate this guy. He would let anybody.
Anyone.
And it wasn't, and he often kind of looked like the winner in most of those debates because he was very factual. And more often than not, he wasn't a dick. Like, you know what I mean? He wasn't boisterous. He wasn't
he didn't
crazy
swear
loud.
at him.
Yes.
He didn't belittle people. He was just like, he would ask simple questions and it would get people upset. But like his famous first question to somebody when they want to have a debate about transgender or whatever is, okay, so we're on the same playing field. What is a woman?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to tell me by definition what you believe a woman is so we can then have a valid argument of one way or the other.
Yeah.
But if you can't give me the definition of a woman, we really can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was never mean about it, but he would just say, just tell me these things.
Where do you stand?
Yeah, where do you stand? You tell me what it means so I know where you're coming from and I can debate you this way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a video about, there's a guy with a bullhorn and he brings his own bullhorn and they, to just be a total freaking idiot.
Yeah.
And he calls him up to the mic and then the guy uses the bullhorn instead of the mic and he's like, tell me you're like losing an argument without telling me you're losing an argument is you're using a bullhorn when we have a microphone to talk
is given to you.
Yeah, he just keeps calling him a liar. And it's like, dude, like when you go into the point where like if you disagree with somebody so bad that you have no argument because you've been beat, just concede and say, maybe I'm wrong or I'm not going to win here. So what's the point? Like,
or just say this, listen, we agree to disagree. How many times have you and I done that?
We've done it. You and I believe we may be on the same side of the aisle, but there are things we don't agree on.
Yes.
Whoop-de-doo. Like, that's fine. That's what makes things okay. You don't have to be disrespectful about it. You don't have to be, I don't have to agree with you. It's the beauty of being a human being and having free thinking. And I can think what I want. Okay, you don't agree with me. That's fine. But at the end of the day, what did Charlie Kirk do to this guy that shot him? Nothing. He didn't even know who he was. He probably never said a word to him. All he did was not agree with what he said at some point or believed at one point.
Or at least that's what we think. Because we do have to be real here. We don't know. We have a very, very strong belief of the reason why he was targeted and shot. I mean, could it possibly be any other reason other than his politics? I mean, it's possible. Not crazy likely. But again, we're looking at the Minnesota State Speaker of their state house was assassinated because she was a Democrat. And this guy that killed her had a list of 70 other people he was going to kill before he was caught. Only because they had different political views. The idea that people have that because our politics are different, there's no coming back from that is unbelievable. I was following along. The Wall Street Journal had this, live update, so I'm following along. And one of the things they mentioned in it is they recently did a poll that back in 2000, I think it was 2004 or 5. At that point, the poll of people that participated in the poll, only about 40% of the people on both Democrats and Republicans believed that if the other side were to be elected office, whether it be Congress, representative or senator or president, would lead our country to destruction. That's a big amount, 40% of respondents. You know what it is now? It's doubled. It's 80%. And let me tell you what, guys, it's not the truth. That's not the truth. We have so much more in common with people on opposite political sides of the aisle than we are led to believe because we live in a world where political discourse is so heated and it's so fire that you're not allowed to realize, we disagree on some things, but for the most part, you're a husband, you're a father, I'm a husband, I'm a father. What we both want is the best thing for our kids. Ultimately, now how we go about that, we're going to figure it out because we disagree on a lot of things. But that's not enough to kill someone or end someone's life. Take away someone's father or husband or mother or wife. Like the idea that we are saying that it's okay to do that, and we live in a country in which it's happening. So how else are we supposed to say that we agree or we disagree? It's happening at an alarming rate now. And since last year when they tried to shoot Donald Trump in August of 2024. How many situations have we had since? We have, I mean, I'm not even going to count the school shootings because that seems, I don't even know how to count that anymore.
I don't even know how that became a thing.
Since Columbine, it has become an unbelievable thing that it just happens. And we've become numb to the news.
triggered, like what happened in the Columbine was crazy. Law enforcement was unprepared.
Oh my gosh.
Like I just sat through a debrief on it. Actually, I was in a leadership training, and one of the leadership guys that came and talked was he debriefed the entire Columbine thing and talked about how to prepare for that. He was there. He was actually a SWAT operator there. That he responded to that call. And so he has real-time information. It's not what he read in a book. It's not what he thinks. It's, hey, this is what happened. This is what they did. And anyway, but it's that, like, what triggered this? All of a sudden, this, like, where did it just all of a sudden get into some kids' brains that, hey, let's take a gun to school and let's start killing other kids.
Just killing people.
Yeah.
I think it's the notoriety. They're looking for their names to be remembered.
That was kind of the Batman guy. Remember the guy at the theater, the Dark Knight thing? That whole thing is just a notoriety. He wanted to be infamous.
You were watching a movie. People are watching. I remember after that, my wife wouldn't go to the movies with me for years.
Every time I don't like movie theaters because of that. If I sit, I like to pick my seats at movie theaters. So I know where things are. Like you're always paying attention because you are a sitting duck, though. Like if you think about all the places we go, it's dark. People come in and out of there. You have no idea. And you're just sitting, chilling. And you're completely distracted into a giant phone. Yeah, right? And you're not paying attention to anything, and you can be in a lot of trouble in a movie theater. So because you can't see where it's coming.
Right. Before we get moving too long, I did want to play this clip. Do you know who James Tallarico is? So he's a guy running for senator out of Texas. He's a Democrat. Right now, he's a state representative in the state of Texas. He's a Democratic senator or representative, excuse me. And it's about a minute. So this is the first time you're hearing this, Jason. But I posted it on Instagram because I felt like this guy, to me, he hit it out of the park on the way that we should be thinking about politics in this country. So I'm going to let you listen to it for the first time here.
Earlier today, Republican activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. I disagreed with Charlie Kirk on almost every political issue, but Charlie Kirk was a child of God. He was our sibling, our brother. He was a human being endowed with infinite worth and entitled to unconditional love. Now his wife is left without a husband, and his children are left without a father. This latest political assassination comes just 3 months after the Democratic Speaker of the Minnesota State House was shot and killed in her home. Political violence has no place in America. My faith, the faith I shared with Charlie Kirk, teaches me to love my neighbors as myself. Not just my neighbors who look like me, or pray like me, or vote like me.
He goes on a little bit longer, but I cut the clip off of that because I felt like that was like the most important thing to me. It's like, we are all Americans, right? And again, we're all children of God. So by thinking that you have to end someone's life because you disagree with them politically, I almost hesitate to say, kill yourself first. If you think that's the only way to solve, we don't need you.
Yeah, I'm like, I still like, you know what's funny is, so I've got teenage kids, right? This is something where the Donald Trump thing was crazy, but he didn't die.
Yeah.
And I still will never, ever, ever understand how we don't talk about it anymore. Like it blows my mind. It just shows you how bad social media runs this country because it can make things disappear because it stops talking about it.
And it's because we have, again, I think it's because of the freaking 24-hour news cycle. There's always something else we got to think about.
Right. Well, especially
talk about something new.
But here's the thing: they control it so much so that when it fits the narrative, that you hear about it for months. I mean, dude, I'm going to call a spade right now. Okay, if you take what happened yesterday, and that is Kamala Harris that takes a bullet to the neck. There are riots. There are burning of cities. There are racial slurs. You name it. This country's on fire in every urban cultural part of it's gonna happen. But like now it's like we're not like how is the country itself as a whole not in complete upcry about this whole thing that happened with him? Like, I don't care who you are, I don't care where you sit, this guy did nothing besides, it'd be like you sitting at a coffee table talking to a guy in a restaurant and a sniper across the roof doesn't agree with what you're saying and he takes you out.
Yeah.
It's like, how is that okay with everybody's like, oh, like we're not, I don't feel like it's, I know, it's actually funny is to see all the celebrities actually like, because you always wonder where they always seem to come out at the wrong time. They always seem to want to take the wrong horse, and they're like, "What are you doing?" But you've got guys, CeeDee Lamb, he's outwardly open. Dak Prescott outwardly open. Jerry Jones is starting to come out like, "Hey, no, we're going to hold a moment of silence in Cowboy Stadium for him on the Star." And you got, people from all different views, but then you have these trolls, and I feel like it's funny. Somebody pointed out yesterday, it was. I feel like it's Russian and Chinese AI on these internets talking about how good it is that it happened. Oh, good. Finally. You're like, are you serious? Like, you can't be human. If you think what happened yesterday is okay in any facet, you need to be gone. Like, I agree. Just
like I said, we don't need you.
Take care of yourself. Please.
We don't need you. Get out of here.
That's not, that is harsh, but dude, it is just, there's no place for that stuff.
You know how I feel about saying stuff like that? Because one of our first episodes is, say, if you're ever feeling down, you need to talk to somebody, do it. But honestly, if you really think that the best way to solve an issue is to kill somebody, leave. We don't want you. No. Go somewhere else.
You're not doing anything to society.
No, you are a drag.
Oh, and we are so on a verge of just. I feel like what happened. I would like to. You're a history guy. When Greece fell, right? Didn't Greece fall?
Greece, Rome, every single
Rome.
empire.
I think Rome is who I'm thinking of. Rome. When the Roman Empire fell. What was their political like? What was the political atmosphere like in the sense of, is this a pattern? Is this what happens in countries that fail or empires that fall? Where,
assassinations,
like
mass
political mass division, political I don't know, whatever the atmosphere we're in right now.
Yeah, no.
Is this part of the trajectory to where, hey, the U.S. is on the verge of a major fall?
So I'll say this: I have been hearing this from people for a long time. Talk about the U.S. empire is ready to crumble.
Bro, I'm gonna kill this fly.
I know that fly is driving me nuts.
It is. I'm like,
it's
how is this
freaking nose?
I'm like, how is this fly just chilling here, dude?
But yeah, there's a lot of factors that point to the United States empire crumbling,
hard crumbling, like
reset. We're on the verge, and which is crazy because we're not an old empire. We're very young.
Yeah.
Right? It's very young. We've only really truly been an empire since the end of World War II.
And you wonder how hard is that reset, right? Like it's hard is relative, right?
Yeah.
What you and I think are hard may not be hard to the Roman Empire that fell, right? But you're wondering, like, where does it go?
I can say this. I worry because I think the United States has absolutely fumbled the bag on the way we deal with our international friends. I mean, the fact that China, Russia, and India and China, the most populous nations in the world, are now going to become like the best of friends because of our tariff policy on everybody that involves themselves with Russia. So Russia's looking at China. China doesn't crap what we do. China's the most insulated nation in the world. And I mean that in the sense that, like, they don't need any of the rest of us. They produce everything on their own. They have their access to all the minerals that they need, and they're the production, manufacturing capital of the world, right? So guess what happens if the United States stop buying their stuff? Europe's going to keep doing it. Russia's going to keep India, the most populated nation in the world, they're going to keep doing it. So, I mean, I just look at it and say, we have used our influence in the wrong ways. We have backed the wrong horse in many ways. And the fact that we continue to do so in places like Israel, allowing that genocide to go on, the fact that we have not forced a peace in Ukraine. We could have forced it years ago. We have not forced a peace in Ukraine. We are still backing that war. And I'm going to stop myself now because we're really getting off the whole
Ukraine
topic.
Thing. That girl that was stabbed in.
Dude,
Ukrainian.
Hey, baby, what do you need?
Uh-oh.
Go ask mama. Okay, shut the door.
That Ukrainian thing was bad. Like
that, it was disgusting.
That's like that. And again, like, this is the point where you see it's a double standard. There is no outcry from anybody on the Democratic Party that believes that what is going on in Ukraine is what we should save Ukraine, give money to Ukraine. This Ukrainian woman was literally taken out in a subway or on a bus,
on a train,
on a train,
like a transit train,
like an whatever they're called, and stuff that we don't have in Arizona.
No, we don't.
And nobody is really like, it's not even a thing. Like, you're not. Now, again, this is where a spade's a spade. You flip the roles, and you notice. Did you see the full video? How there's 4 other black guys.
Another video that I refuse to watch.
Yep. Nobody does anything. Nobody does anything. They literally get up as she's been attacked and falls down in front of her seat, they just kind of mosey like, I wasn't here. Now you change that to a black man or woman that gets attacked by a white guy and there are white guys there. That becomes a mob mentality and they are attacking. It is, again, a racial thing all day long. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are things okay in some sense but not okay in another?
Well, that's the problem, is they're not okay anywhere.
I know, but we sit and let it happen, and nobody can. Like, where's the outcry from? And this is the problem with the silent majority. Why are we not freaking out about it like the other side does?
Well, there's the reason why, Jason. It's because there's too much crap to freak out about, and I'm not. That's the
I know.
saddest possible reason I could give you. It's the saddest possible. We have so much crap to be upset about that when something like that happens, it's just, well, it's another day. It's another awful tragedy. I mean, again, we're talking about Charlie Kirk on the same day that another school shooting happened. Just another tragedy. Something that I don't know how to avoid these things.
I feel like video games have some kind of play in this.
I honestly, if you want to ask me where it really comes down to, it really comes down to the internet.
Well, it's internet
social
in general.
media.
It's just,
dude. Okay. I keep telling myself I'm going to stop because I don't want to get too far off the track. The whole reason we started this is because we needed to talk about what happened yesterday because it's a big freaking deal.
It's huge.
It's
going to have a ripple effect in this country, and where it goes from here, I don't know. But you're not going to take the problem is now I think, in my opinion, you've awoken a sleeping giant that has been staying out of the way. They've been pushed. They keep getting pushed, and now you have taken out somebody that a lot of people respected on both sides of the aisle, and you're going to just a political, like, it's going to be crazy.
This is the thing that
the arena's going to get real dirty,
and
bro.
See, that's the thing that I'm actually most scared of because I think about it. It's like, that's the last thing that we need in this country was someone to, we were already a tinderbox for someone to come and drop stick a dynamite in that.
Oh, it's over.
Like, I don't want more division in this country. I want more unification. I want us to recognize that there's a lot more in common with each other than there is not. And because of this, my hope for that is all but gone.
You got to figure when MSNBC starts firing reporters for what they say, things are all out of whack, bro. Like, did you see that report? Did you see the report of what he said? He literally is. They're talking about what happened, and he goes like, "Hey, let's not jump to conclusions. We don't know if this was celebratory gunfire that went awry. We don't want to misspeak." And you're like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you are a person on the news, and that's what you're going to say?
Yeah.
MSNBC fired him.
Well, good.
Yep.
I mean,
then you're like, good. Like, it should be like, absolutely.
If you can't literally use your eyes. Now, listen, I understand not wanting to immediately diagnose the situation because we know things are going to come out. Like again, immediately assigning this as a political assassination. Now, is it? More than likely it is. Do we know that? No, we don't. Maybe this is an assassination for. I mean, like going down the conspiracy theory thing, right?
It could be a religious, religious shot, not so much so a political thing. Yeah. It could be.
It's more than likely not the case.
Yes,
but it is kind of smart to say, "Listen, we don't know. This is an assumption we're going to make."
But to say celebratory gunfire, it's
one
like,
shot.
Dude, are you serious?
One shot was a celebratory gunfire,
and I'm like, dude, like. You could have said anything along those lines, like you just said. Hey, listen, let's not jump. We don't know that this is fully politically motivated. It's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
But it's probably a good idea that we wait because we don't want to misguide people or misspeak on it being we think it's a Democrat and it was a Republican or vice versa, or a transgender and it wasn't. Whatever.
Yeah.
But for him to say celebratory gunfire,
dude, that's the dumb. I mean, I didn't see it, but that's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I post. It's on my story, dude. If you,
I actually opened your story and it looked like it was about to show him getting shot. I'm like, I'm out. I can't.
Yeah, well, it was the MSNBC. You'll see it. It's not that one, but dude, I'm telling you, because I want you to watch it, but I don't want you to watch it because you don't need to see it. But it's just the only piece you can get from it is that he didn't suffer whatsoever because it was over for him.
My good buddy who lives up in Utah texted me yesterday when it happened. He said, "Did you see that Charlie Kirk got shot?" And my immediate thought was, why? Why would someone shoot Charlie Kirk? I mean. And he didn't say that he was dead.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what had happened. So my immediate thought was, okay, maybe he got shot. He's probably going to be okay. But why on earth would anybody shoot Charlie Kirk? That just doesn't make any sense to me. It would be like, do you know who Constantine is?
Yeah.
Okay. It'd be like somebody shooting Constantine. Why? Like, he's literally just a political guy. Like, why would you shoot him?
Yeah. Well, and you know what's, I was thinking about it yesterday is why, after the Donald Trump thing, okay, knowing that this is more so of a possibility now than ever with anybody who seemingly is on the right side versus the left is going to get assassinated, right?
I would just say, honestly, and I'm using this as an experience. Remember, 2 Democratic state senators in Minnesota were assassinated in their, a husband and wife were assassinated, yes. Another one shot.
Right.
So I am not saying this is left or right.
You're right.
This
it's
is
really not.
This is a general political problem.
But why are we, my point being is, why are we not putting up bulletproof glass in front of these people?
Yeah.
In general, no matter where you go, right? You put up a wall around them, a little half circle, and just in case, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point, you're probably going to see that no matter what now, right? You almost have to have these panels up. If you're going to debate people, even if you're just at a college, you're going to have to freaking have bulletproof glass up because you never know who's on a rooftop.
Yeah.
And dude, 200 yards is a crazy shot, but that's not that far.
No.
With a bullet.
If you're a hunter, that's about what you expect to do when it comes to shooting down an elk.
If this guy would have shot from 1,000 yards and took him out, that would be like, you're like, dude, you're looking for like 7 people in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, very small.
Yeah. Like there are only a certain amount of people that can make that shot. You're watching the movie Shooter in real life, you know? Like,
well, anyway, so the reason I was going to say that is because when my buddy texted me, apparently his neighbor's son was like 20 feet away and saw the whole thing. And I'm just like, that guy's never going to forget that. That is burned in his skull now. And that's the type of thing that you just have to live with.
And the thing is,
saw it happen.
The amount, like when it happens, the amount of blood that you see immediately, you're not going to unsee that especially if you're there. If you've never seen that and you're a 20-year-old LDS college kid at a South Utah college, and you've been
dude, this is straight in Provo.
Right.
This school, Utah Valley University, is literally right next door to BYU.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're a kid who's grown up and you've been just small town church going kid who's never really seen anything outside of a movie, you are not going to be okay. Yeah. And you should probably talk to somebody because there's no shame in that. No, there isn't. Because the video is bad, but to be there, if you haven't like seen, you're not okay. You're just not.
To me, I'm looking at this, and this is probably our generation's version of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Not politically elected officials, but guys that were leaders in some political movement who were assassinated for those beliefs. I'm not even saying RFK, who was running for political office, or JFK, who was the president, or Gerald Ford was shot. No, not Gerald Ford. Was he shot?
Gerald Ford or General Ford?
Gerald Ford, president right after Nixon. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't shot, but I think somebody took a run at him. But I mean,
did he throw a shoe at him? Oh no, that was Bush. Somebody threw a shoe at Bush or something one time. Remember, like a political thing, like you see a shoe come flying out and he moves out.
Oh yeah. Who throws a shoe? Name that movie. Who throws a shoe? I mean, honestly.
Well, Austin Powers.
Austin Powers, good pull. I did a very good job with the accent.
Yeah, you did a great job with the accent. Any kid nowadays would not have known, but I've unfortunately wasted way too much time of my life watching a movie like that.
So good though. But no, this is one of those things where, again, I'm saying like it's our generation's version of it because it's something. And here we are talking about this on September 11th.
San Francisco.
So somebody did take
Sarah Jane Moore attempted to assassinate the 30th president of the United States, Gerald Ford, after he made an address to a World Affairs Council.
Yeah, and that's what I thought. I said that was my memory. But those were actually elected people in elected offices. I mean, the amount of people that have been killed in political office in our lifetime, I think is zero.
Well, and that's what makes this so hard. Is he's not any of that.
No.
Like, if you're a political person and you're in politics, if you're a politician, you have security for a reason, right? That's not because they pay him just to do it. It's because the likelihood is higher than a normal person, like Charlie Kirk, right? But he even had security. Yeah. Or if you're a police officer, the likelihood of you getting shot or shot at is higher than a normal person. Yeah. So it makes sense that, for them to worry, but for a guy like this who, again, not doing anything besides you and I, he's literally having a dialogue like you and I do, and somebody doesn't agree, and
all that, doing it literally everywhere. I keep coming back to the idea. You can disagree with his stances all you want. This guy was more than willing to discuss it with you. He wanted to have that discussion with anybody. He was prepared for the discussion. The likelihood you were going to win it was very small because the guy was smart. But that was his crime. That was his crime, Jason.
Have you heard of this guy named Parker? I can't remember his last name. He debates Charlie Kirk quite a bit, and he knows him by first name. They would debate each other, and I've seen him.
I've probably seen a couple clips.
You've seen him, I'm for sure, but I'm curious what his Like, what did he say, if anything, about this, right? Because, again, you can politically disagree with somebody and personally disagree with their lifestyle, their choices, whatever. But to say that I'm going to take him out because I don't agree, like...
Do you remember, this is going way back, and it's before our time, but there was a show on Fox where it had two different guys. It was this guy's from Louisiana. He's a Cajun. He's a Democrat. And I want to say he was a policy advisor for Bill Clinton. And him and another guy who was a Republican would have the show on Fox where they would literally just sit there and debate. And it turns out they were like great friends, but they had different political leanings. I wish I could remember what this is. Now I'm just talking about crap out of my head that I don't have any facts behind. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is here we are talking about this on September 11th. An event that you and I will never forget.
So, yes, I'm sorry, I'm reading about that Parker kid because they're one of his political adversaries in this world of. It's probably just for politics or for show. For views.
Yeah.
But even there, like he's like, look, he goes, it should come as no shock to yourself when I tell you that I think Charlie Kirk was a bad person. I've made that very clear over the last year, but that does not mean I think that he deserves to lose his life. No, it does not think that two young children who were in attendance at the event should see that happen to their kid.
Yeah.
Or to their dad. So even then, even those guys are like, no, like this should not happen. Anyway, so yes, 9/11. I think it's I should probably text my sister back, but I got a text earlier today from my sister about my brother-in-law because he was on a walking beat during 9/11.
Oh, geez, yeah,
right. As an NYPD cop, and he's struggling, I think, a little bit more so this year. And if you listen to this, man, I hope things go good with you today. Like, I know it's tough. There's nothing I can say. Like, I can't imagine how you feel. Like, I get it. Like, you were there. But it just, you think about today and what it means. And I was going to almost send you that song for today. Alan Jackson, Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning? Because that would have been
the song for this one.
For today, because everybody knows, man. Like there's not a chance that anybody who is of any kind of age who remembers things doesn't know what they were doing on 9/11 in 2001. They just don't. Like it's just like, I mean, I would argue now with Charlie Kirk thing, these kids, this generation, like, dude, Lexi, she's like, I'm like mad. Like she goes, I like followed him, and I'm like, I know, like it's like it is not right, but like it's like. She's like, I can't believe someone would do that. And I'm like, this is the world we live in, kid. Like, you gotta. They think the world ain't full of sunshine and rainbows anymore, man. It's a dark place, man. There's a lot of bad things that happen in this country that people don't want to look at because they live in their bubble. And now these kids now who are growing up in these universities and sheltered lives are starting to see that, look, dude, bad things can happen to anybody. So
yeah, that's
9/11, dude. It's a tough one.
Dude, it's just. I mean, we're not even here to talk about that. It's just one of those things where it happens.
You got to recognize it though.
You do. It's that day. It's 9/11.
Yeah, you got to bring it up.
And
we didn't even mean to do it today. Today just happened. When we had this, I was driving here realizing that we were doing a podcast on 9/11.
Yeah,
I knew what today was.
Yeah,
but when we set it up and said Thursday, I didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even click, dude. Like I was not even thinking about that.
No, and by the way, I mean, it should come as no shock to anybody that this is not what we planned on talking about.
No.
And this was not what we had on the list because this is. I mean, dude, we just had week 1 in the NFL. College football's underway. Baseball season's wrapping up.
Like we angels singing. Like you know that baseball's about to fade away.
This is our time, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm excited about baseball, but this is our time that we were like, hey, we've been talking. By the way, are we doing that fantasy football league? Did my team auto draft? Because we
all auto drafted.
Oh, we did.
Except for my brother-in-law didn't because he was in Tennessee and he's a giant. But like everybody pretty much auto drafted. So
because I was thinking about that because I was in Florida.
Yeah,
driving home, I'm like, I never drafted a team. I wonder if that league's happening.
I set it up and I forgot about it, and then I just started getting alerts on my phone. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna. I mean. I almost kind of like it's kind of like the year of the auto draft. It'd be cool to see who wins just based on strictly the computer system picking the next available guy.
I'm actually kind of interested. Yeah, I've never thought about that, but yeah, because I didn't pick anybody.
I did not.
I haven't even logged in.
I was so mad because I didn't get CD Lamb. He's the only guy I would have picked. I wanted as a receiver just because
number 1 pick.
Jana got him, and he's on his. I was like, she's like, should I start him? I'm like, no, don't do it yet. Just wait
a couple weeks.
Yeah, but we'll get into sports here soon.
Yeah,
but.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't want to be, but I wanted to pay this one off. It was not the TV show so much as I was talking about. James Carville was the guy that I was thinking of. He's known as the Raging Cajun. He's a Democratic strategist. He's worked for many Democratic presidents. and he works for Fox News. He is married to, her name is Mary Jo Madeline, and she is a Republican strategist and worked for Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and George Bush. Okay. And she is a Republican. They are married. They are highly ranked in their party. They've worked for the most powerful people in their party, and they can be married while having deeply different political views. If you want to tell me that that isn't an illustration of what we need more of in this country, the ability to disagree and recognize that we are still humans, then I don't know what is.
It'd be really hard. I'm not going to lie. Like, I think I could pull it off as long as we don't talk about politics. As long as you respect my views and I respect yours, I think it could be fine.
Yeah,
but it would be hard. Like, it would be hard. Honestly, imagine if Chalet was like a total lefty, bro, or like our total righty, whatever you want to, the other side of whatever you want to see. And like, you couldn't even you couldn't own a gun. Like, what if she was so anti-gun? She was like, you don't gonna have it in my house. I'm like, I'm gonna have it in my house. Like, I don't. You got to
the only
figure this
thing
out.
that I can think that would really help, and I don't know anything about their relationship on this one, is for me, it's like, if you have the same general faith, if you can say generally, you don't have to be the same religion, but generally we have the same basic tenets of our faith. Yeah. I think you can get away with having different political issues, because ultimately, do you believe in the same God? Do you believe that we are all children of that God? Do you believe that he loves his children? Like, those are things like, if you believe those things, then we can get to an agreement elsewhere, and we can disagree elsewhere and allow that to be our outside lives, right? Because actually, one of the things for me and Shalay, we have a rule. I have no idea who she votes for, and I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because my thing is like, listen, that's what you do. That's fine. You can have your own political beliefs. That's fine. I will share mine. She doesn't really share much of hers. That's not her thing. But that's just kind of the way we work. I don't know who you vote for. That's fine. I couldn't keep who I voted for a secret if I tried. That's just how I am. But I don't know. It would be tough, but I'm just saying it's possible. I'm looking at two people that have made it possible. And I feel like I'm really hammering home on this statement, but the statement is like, killing somebody is not the answer because of something you disagree with. And I feel absolutely ridiculous that I have to say that. That's like calling the sky blue. Everybody knows that. Why am I stating it? I guess because some people don't believe it. That's all I got to say, man. You got anything else?
No. I feel like I just, I doubt his family or friends will ever listen to this podcast, but, just sorry. Like, that sucks, man. Our deepest condolence. I can't imagine what his wife and kids and family are going through. Like, it's like, it's worse than a car accident. It's worse than cancer. It's worse than this, life was literally taken from you for nothing.
Because of hate.
Because of hate.
Yeah. It wasn't an accident.
No, it's a hate crime. It'll never be deemed as that, but this is what this was. It's a hate crime.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And, I agree. I got nothing else, man.
Yeah, I think you should just sign off at that point. I don't think the breathe thing works right now.
No, I literally was thinking the exact same thing. I'm not saying it. I'm just going to say, sorry.
Rest in peace, buddy.
Yeah.